Hi guys, I'm Dan at vintagevello.org and today we are here at the awesome In-Gear Pro cycling shop in Forest Row with a man, a true legend of the pro cycling scene, the one and only Sean Yates. Hi Sean,
Good evening.
Thank you very much for coming and giving us a bit of
No
your time. Just going to ask you a little bit about your life and career here, Forest Row, your family home. You've still got family here but you're in Spain most of the time. Let's just go straight in. Young man, you're riding loads of TTs. You've moved into the East Grinstead Cycling Club. How back then do you get from local 10 and 25 mile TTs to nationals and then looking at pro contracts and stuff like that? When, to be fair, you know, you've got to dig that stuff out. There's no information about it anywhere, you know. That must have been taking some insight and some dedication.
Yeah, it was a journey. Obviously, I think it would not have happened without my father. You know,
Right.
Because like you say, I joined the East Grinstead, that off my own back, living here and on the Ashdown Forest. We used to ride our bikes a lot back in the day. Obviously, didn't have a TV, obviously no internet, smartphones, laptops, whatever. So we used to ride a lot, and I had 3 guys, my brother and 2 other friends who lived in the same lane, and we used to go on trips down to Brighton, South Downs. I was the oldest and the strongest, and we also used to race, and I like pay him to race me and stuff like that. And I just fancied riding a bike really, and I wrote a letter to Val Baxendine, who was the secretary at the East Grinstead Cycling Club, and she said, come along and join us on one of our Sunday club runs.
Right.
So I went up there, and my uncle had given me some money, and I bought an old Fraser's bike with Zeus components. So I had a half decent bike, and I cycled up there and joined the club run in my walking shoes and football socks.
Brilliant.
Up here, you know, with my old school trousers in, and went on a club run and rode okay, and then we had some club 10s, as most clubs do, on a Wednesday evening. I started riding those straight away, went quite fast. So my dad kind of started getting interested, because he was quite interested in bike riding, but never actually did any really, or certainly no racing. And so that I entered an open event, you know.
Yeah.
So started doing the opens, local ones. Started going to road racing, winning locally. So then, how we challenge ourselves more and go further afield. So just kept on going further and further afield, really. We used to sail back in before I started cycling, so it's very similar. We belonged to the Wheelwood Sailing Club.
Just other way.
But we used to do the Southern Championships, Open Championships, which are like open road races, time trials, nationals, divisionals, area championships. So that was, so it was always a case of trying to go up against better competition. And I had some good contacts, mainly Tony Mills from Emperor Sport, Cycles Dauphin, and he had some contacts, and that led me to get a couple of rides abroad, time trials, Grand Prix de Nation, Grand Prix de France, and then I got noticed by the ACBB.
Yeah.
And they said, you want to come over? I said, yes. But I never set out to be a pro. It was just, I'm good at riding a bike, I ride a bike, I seem to have the health to do it. The constitution, that was a big thing for me. I used to work, wasn't under pressure to work full time, so I worked as a gardener, 9 to 12 in the morning, and then in the afternoon I just train.
Excellent.
And I could do 6 hours every day for 5 days and be fine at the end of it, and then race on the weekend type thing. So the constitution enabled me to reap the rewards of the training load.
Yeah.
Different basis.
We spoke briefly before we turned the camera on. You took the two titles at the same day on was it the 25 or the 10? I forgot.
The 10.
The 10. Yeah.
Broke the competition record twice in one day.
Yeah, that's pretty.
In 1979.
That's unheard of, really.
It's never been done,
to
my knowledge, before or since. At the time, obviously, now you talk about those times, they're super slow, but the competition record at the time was 20:26 by Ian White. And in the morning on the Portsmouth Road, I did 20:07, and in the afternoon on Thomas Bypass, I did 20:18. And I think that year, or in 78, there's about 3 20-minute rides.
Yeah.
Across the nation.
Right, okay.
And in 79, I did 6 consecutive 20s, you know?
Yeah.
20-minute rides. So, I was definitely strong.
And that's going to get you noticed.
And that got me noticed, and obviously then it's like, okay, I need to go to the Olympics. I need to do...
Was it Moscow?
Moscow, yes.
Yes.
Initially, I tried to get in the team time trial squad, and I did a training session on the A1.
Yeah.
And they said I was probably the strongest there, but I didn't have the technique. I was like, how much technique do you need?
Okay.
You know. So then me and my dad said, so we're trying to get in the track squad.
Yeah.
We went up to Stoke under Lyme, I think it was, and there was a track training session there. Eddie Soames was there. I remember he came over to me and said, "You've got a position like a fucking postman, boy." You know, and he tampered with it a bit. In the first session, I got blown out after 1 lap. Second session, 2 laps, 3. By the end, anyway, cutting a long story short, I got on the team, the World Championship team that year, in the team pursuit.
And then that led you ACBB.
ACBB.
Yeah, well, that was for those of you guys out there who don't know it, that's Brillancourt
Athletic Club Boulogne-Billancourt.
That's it. And where most English speakers
a lot of the British
channel through. But you won your first race with them though, didn't you?
My first race, I won.
That does help.
Yes. That's the Grand Prix Saint-Tropez.
Wow.
200 riders.
Yeah.
I come from riding in the UK where there's 40 guys. And there was 200 plus riders in the Grand Prix Saint-Tropez, and I broke away with another guy and I out-sprinted him. First race. Coming down East Saint-Tropez High Street with my arms in there. What a start.
Was that more self-preservation? Like, geez, there's 200 guys here, I'm going to die.
Well,
I'm going to get out the front.
Even at the front, doesn't matter how many guys are behind him. We did actually race, or another race, I think, I've forgotten, down in Toulouse, Grand Prix Toulon. There's more than 300, and John Herity won that one.
Whoa.
So yes, it was a baptism of fire. Did
you think when you were with ACBB that it was going to lead to that pro contract?
Well,
you know, not every, as you say, a lot of guys go and try.
Yes.
I mean, but you're a young man, Forest Row, you know, and then the next thing you know, you're in the outskirts of Paris, in a little apartment, going, I've got to make this work.
Yes. Well,
racing for primes to get the money to eat.
The start was good, but then I started eating too much. I put on like 10 kilos. I was getting belted left, right, and centre. And then at a certain point, I just said, "This is not good enough." I think, and started training much harder, looking after myself better, and I had a good end of year.
Right.
And because they had some kind of deal with supplying Peugeot with riders, I was the best of the team. Herity, John went to Cope Mercia.
Okay, yeah.
So we both turned pro. The other riders were Kevin Riley from Southport and Jeff Williams from Manchester. So anyway, so I guess they had that system where they supplied one person per year, whether they were good, bad, or mediocre. As it turned out, I did okay at the end of the year, and I had a good start with Peugeot, initially, because I was good in the time trials. I won a couple of time trials in my first year, but it was a big jump up from from amateur team to the amateur scene to the pros. Yeah. Whereas coming from the UK into the ACBB I didn't find it a jump up at all really. But I guess my progress stalled somewhat, because initially obviously it was a quick climb to kind of that level, and then I plateaued. It took me a number of years to get in the swing of it and realise obviously I was too heavy.
Too heavy, yeah, and press ups, famous.
Yeah. Obviously, I started press ups and sit ups because on the track squad, you know. And
of course, yeah.
That's power,
beefer, yeah.
blah, blah. Yeah. So yeah, I got slightly possessed, and we're doing 400 a day and stuff like this, and yeah, and plus I was vegetarian living here.
Yeah.
Went abroad, started eating meat.
Yeah.
You know, no one had ever heard of a vegetarian. So
No,
just that protein.
Yeah.
Along with it, you know, suddenly I wasn't fat. I was just big. You know, which is nice, I guess, on the flat, but it doesn't help me at all.
I mean, obviously now we're used to loads of team coaches, doctors, nutritionists, chefs. You know, very, very catered for, almost, you know, from the junior ranks onwards. You didn't have any of that.
No.
So there's no coach saying maybe knock the press ups on the head now. No coach is saying like hit. You know, no nutritionist coming in. Nothing like that.
No.
It is literally
just look every man for himself, pretty much. You know, I spent a lot of my time with Alan Piper, who was very into his food and looking after himself. So yeah, we just had to put up with it most of the time, or you know, bring our own food. Yeah, and we used to bring our own muesli, and the French were like, "What's that? Horse feed?" You know, they never seen muesli.
Yeah. How did you get from Peugeot to Fagor?
It's a long story, but I mean, a couple of times I was almost out of Peugeot because I hadn't performed, and then one of the riders who used to be in Peugeot, John Rennie Bernardo.
Oh yeah.
He was at Fagor, and we got along pretty well. And he said, "You need to come to our team." And he talked to the boss, and Yates, why do we want Yates? He can't get over a bloody motorway bridge. That were literally his words.
Okay. Right.
But anyway, he convinced them that it would be a good idea to sign me. So it was actually near the Puy de Dôme, the stage. I snuck out the hotel and I went to meet the manager, and I signed it on this scrap of paper, you know, and that was it. And as it happened, that tour, 86, we had the final dinner on the Champs-Élysées, and the big boss of Peugeot was there in the dinner, and he said, "Yeah, we're putting our sponsorship."
Okay.
That's a nice way to celebrate finishing the tour.
Ooh. Just make everyone feel good.
I hadn't told Leger that I was leaving, and he came over to me. "Yeah, we'll find a sponsor. You're going to stay, aren't you? You're going to stay." I was like, "Yeah." Anyway,
and your 88 season with Fagor was pretty impressive, you know.
Yes. Well, obviously 87 was my first year with Fagor when I won a race. I won a couple of races. Grand Prix de Cannes.
Yeah.
I won that stage in the Tour of Ireland.
Okay.
116 mile solo break.
Nissan Classic. How long?
Ring of Kerry. 116 miles.
116 mile solo break.
Yes.
Ooh,
Ring of Kerry.
Was it raining?
No.
Oh, rare for you.
Up Short Mountain, which was not short.
Okay.
In the final. It's out there on YouTube.
Brilliant.
I hardly got up. I honestly thought I was going to have to walk. We had 42:24, I believe. And after 116 miles on the Ring of Kerry, where there's not 1 meter flat, my legs were hurting a bit. But 88, I moved to south of France, and then I really switched on just to ride the bike, and nothing else, because I got kind of caught for tax evasion, so I had to get out of the country, and so I just stayed in a hotel. Yeah. Rode my bike. Yeah. Rested. Rode my bike. Rested.
Like one incredibly long training camp.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. No external distractions. Just get on.
And then I realised, obviously, my weight was important, and this, that, and other. So, perfect condition, perfect training territory, and I reaped the benefits. Better results.
Brings you the Vuelta stage win.
Yes.
It's pretty impressive. And then obviously, although Paris-Nice as well, fantastic result there. You were leader's jersey for 2 or 3 days. Yeah. Stage wins there as well. And the thing is about your Palmares is that as soon as you start looking into them, you realise that the number of seconds, thirds, fourth, you're always up there or thereabouts, and the number of wins that just a bit, when you look at it, you're like, how could you not have won more?
Yeah, I don't. Probably total of around 30, including British national champion and stuff like that. But which is a fair number.
Yes.
Considering some guys haven't won a race.
Yeah.
In their whole career.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, being a leader was not interesting to me because I knew I could only perform on X amount of days per year.
Okay.
I didn't like the pressure. I preferred to ride for someone, do a job, and then be done with it.
Because I know in your book you mentioned when you were with Fagor, the team organisation, the team and the director, just like who's gonna, you didn't even know who was going to go for it on a day, let alone
I think everything was very unorganised, and that's what led me to get out that team. I just said I can't stake anymore.
Yeah.
And I rang up Dago the Lawrence and I said, put me on give Jim Okerich a word,
Yeah.
And get me out and get me on your team,
your individual time trial stage win at the Tour. Obviously, as we know, fastest ever non-tri-bar position time trial speed ever recorded, which is an exceptional feat.
We had a nice tailwind. I knew the area and I was really motivated. I had great form. Come off mini lead, great form. And I used to live up there with the late Paul Sherwin in Lille, so I knew the roads.
Right.
I was well up for it that
day.
Cool.
in that kind of era, so that that's almost like the end of that classic era of riding, when you've got the likes of Hinault, Le Monde, Vicentini, Roche, everyone's there and doing it. What was it like in that peloton when you've got the likes of Hinault?
Hinault was just a tough bastard. I mean, obviously lots of things changed, but he was just so intimidating and so strong. He literally rode in the front row in 53.13 or whatever the whole day, threatening people with their attack. He's going to destroy them and this, that, and the other, and he's just so strong and so intimidating. It was quite an era, and I remember one time, I think it was 85, we come into a stage finish, and this was in the days before Oakley's, and I hated the bright lights, so I think as early as 82, I got myself some Ray-Ban aviators with a wire. I still got them.
Yeah.
I wore those all the time. And I bumped into him, and he turned around and said, Yates, take the fucking glass off so you can see where you're going.
Yeah.
Literally, that's what he told me.
Wow. Okay.
City.
Humble.
But he was so strong.
Back in your place.
He was just, so strong and so determined and, never gave up.
Were you at the Tour when he hit the ground on the face?
Yeah, I did all those tours. I did every single tour from 84 until 95.
Yeah.
Into set.
So a lot of big history there.
Yeah. Obviously, I mean, we were just spectators, really. I was most of the time. To Hinault and his battles with Greg, and others. So Hinault. Obviously, a lot of it is lost really in archives or bad quality films of the things he did in like the Welsh Hispania and Italy, the Giro, just blowing the race to pieces, and just destroying everyone basically. Just even that world champ in Solange,
So not like now, where we used to see the star is looked after, coddled until just at the right moment when they get to swashbuckle their way off.
No, I mean obviously he should have won 6 tours, but he blew it because he attacked and did that. No.
Oh no! Oh sorry,
Yes. Attacked over. He had 3 lead on GC, and he fucking attacked over the Tourmalet just to be pretty big balls, you know, and then blew up.
Yeah.
2 days later on the Col de Granon, you know, and lost the Tour.
Yeah. And he didn't need to do it.
No, he had 3 minutes lead in GC.
Yeah. And Le
imagine
Mans not allowed to attack him.
No, imagine that happening now, you know.
Yeah. No.
You've got a 3 minute lead on GC, you've won the Tour, you know, 5 times, and you're going to attack over the Tourmalet, and you've still got the Aspan, the Peugeot, the Aspan, and the whatever it was to finish with, you know.
Yeah, no, that was
foolhardy.
You know. How do you find Fignon?
No, I you know, I like him. I like him now. Obviously, no longer with us, but yeah, obviously, he turned pro the same year as me, and I got a bit of a story. We went down to the Grand Prix National in 1980. I flew over there. I wore my Olympic suit.
Right.
And I got picked up by Albert Bouvet.
Okay.
One that worked for ASO for ages. With Jean-Marie LeBlanc. And I took to the hotel. And Fignon was staying in the same hotel. He was from another club in Paris. And we went for training ride together, you know.
Right.
Did a lap, you know. And the whole bloody way, he was half wheeling me, you know. Like, I was like, fucking French guy, yeah. And then in the race, I beat by 3 minutes.
Oh!
You know, but he was just half wheeling me the whole time.
Yeah.
And then obviously turned pro, bloody won the Tour de France, you know, and all these other races. And I was like...
His was a career you just wonder if he hadn't have mashed up his ankle.
Yes.
You know, what would have that
3
or 4 year period.
And then you got the whole thing when they made, you know, helped Moser win the Giro and I mean all that stuff, you know, is outrageous really in today's world.
Oh yeah, the helicopter in between the two. Yeah, that's.
You know, like.
Well, yeah, when I tell people that story, they look at me like, no, that can't. No, really, it wasn't that long ago either on the scale line.
Exactly, and they had all those tunnels that weren't lit and this, that, and the other. You know, when Jean-François Bernard became a cropper, I mean, he was a class rider. One of the most classy, not to really. I mean, he should have won the Tour in 8.
Well, that's a notable
attack in the zone.
But he had annoyed everyone. That was the problem, wasn't he? It was the day before or 2 days before the time trial. He put a lot of time into everyone.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Boasted a bit too much on the camera.
I can't remember that. But yeah, obviously he won that time trial and won 2. He won the last time trial as well. Could have done.
So let's bring it back around 7-11. 1989. This one, I believe, is your 1990 because we haven't got chrome forks.
Okay.
As far as I could tell. But there you are. You're on 7-11. Organisation, first of all, a lot better.
Yeah, obviously English speaking helped. You know, I mean, it was definitely better organised. They had a different attitude. You know, first training camp was in California in Santa Barbara. We stayed in like a motel and we were given $15 whatever a night to go feed ourselves. You know, so we always went to have Mexican every night. You know. But we met up in Long Beach and we actually rode from Long Beach to Santa Barbara on the first day or whatever. And Eddie Merckx, the bike supply, rode with us that day. It's a 5-hour ride or whatever.
Oh, well, okay.
But they actually, and there is a picture of me on the front of one magazine, I think, because the first bike they made was 61 centimeters.
Okay.
And normally it was a 60, sorry.
Yeah.
Which I went down to 59.
Okay. Did I hear that at the 89 tour, the final time trial stage, which we all know for the big bash between Le Mans and Fignon, you got offered $20,000.
Yeah, Oak said, if you win this time trial, I'll give you $20,000.
Because you're losing your sponsor.
I mean, they did stay with us another year. Yeah. They stayed with us in 90. I can't remember why. Obviously, we hadn't got the results because initially, obviously, they got great results with the Canadian guy. You know, he got the jersey, didn't he?
Yeah.
And Jeff Pierce won the stage on Champs-Elysees. Yeah, their first tour in '86. They got the yellow jerseys, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know, and Davies won a stage as well, I think. You know, and Ryder won some stages in the Giro. Obviously, Andy won the Giro, you know, so it was, you know, and then it was a bit of a down period. He did offer me 20,000 to win that time trial. I couldn't win it. I came fifth.
I mean, fifth in that company as well. Let's not, I
don't know who won. Greg won.
Yeah.
Finian was second. I think Charlie Motte or Thierry Marie.
I think it was
then
Thierry
myself.
Marie,
So it was not a bad result.
But no 20,000.
No 20,000, sadly.
What year did you go on to win? Because your form used to carry on after the tour.
Yeah, I always got better as the year went by because I didn't train hard enough. Basically, I don't think in the winter.
Well,
so
to that point.
I was best after I'd done 2 Grand Tours. You know.
Wow. Okay.
Like come Tour Britain time. You know.
Yeah.
After I'd done recovered from the tour, and done 1 tour or 2 in the same year because I could just absorb the training loads. You know, the loads. Better than most, I would say. So yes, latter part of the year was always kind of
because your Tour of Belgium overall win
was
post tour, wasn't it?
Yes.
89?
89.
89, yeah. That's, and they were great riders. I mean, it's only a few weeks after the Fignon Le Mans battle, and Le Mans there, Moses there, you got loads of guys, they're all there, you know.
It's not like Mazzeo, you know, I mean, obviously all these races, they're
no one's going to give you a result. No one's going to go, that Sean, he's a great guy, we'll let him win this one.
I mean, at Tour of Holland, I've got quite a few good results in Tour of Holland,
okay.
You know, including winning prologue.
In fact, if we skip forward a few years to the Motorola time, you take the yellow jersey at the 94 tour?
94 tour, yes.
And anyone out there, on the internet, look this one up on YouTube because, there's great footage of you winning that.
Yes.
And you were not, that breakaway was not hanging around.
No, we were not hanging around.
You were all full gas. It was proper.
It was the longest stage of the race that year, 270k. And the break went in the last 20k or so, and I bridged across. And you look at it, we were motoring, and all the riders were there: Bortolami, Hepner, Bontempi, Abdi Jabarov, Frankie, myself, a couple of others. We were motoring, and they were chasing behind.
Yeah.
And then some teams were helping, to try and keep that jersey. So we were definitely motoring that year, and that, I would say that's pretty much one of my best ever rides on a physical level, because I bridged across. I was feeling good that day after I've been feeling good that whole year.
Did you think the yellow was close? Was that in the back of your mind, or
we had no radios in those days?
Oh, of course.
I guess so. I don't know. Obviously, we had no radios, and the DS didn't come up to us and tell us, you must not let anyone jump away.
Yeah.
Because they're 20-second bonuses. So I thought, we were thinking we need to have more than 40 seconds on the bunch.
Yeah.
Rizal's got the jersey. We didn't think Bortolami jumped away, which he did, obviously. If he'd won by 1 second, instead of being given the same time, we would have taken the jersey.
Right.
It was a 20-second bonus.
Yep.
And we were obviously chasing as hard as we could, so we weren't going to get the sprint behind, with Abdu there, type thing.
Yep.
So that was a narrow escape, really.
Yeah.
Could have turned, joy to,
And you were Superman for a day the next day.
Yes,
there you are.
Yeah.
That obviously, I think you say you had more photographs taken of you that day than in your entire career put together. I think.
Obviously having the jersey after so long, in that would have been my 11th tour. I think most people were pretty happy for me, and it was a nice kind of recompense, really.
Definitely.
Just to have it for that day. We weren't using the Sil bikes then, we were using the Lightspeed.
Okay.
Lightspeed made bikes with their Caloi.
Yeah, the Caloi ones. Were they titanium?
Yes, Lightspeed.
A question I was going to bring you on to, because of course the internet is full of, but the Caloi ones were repainted,
Yes.
rebranded.
Lightspeed.
Wow.
And Carlisle is a major frame builder, bike
Yep.
manufacturing in Brazil, and that they kind of must have obviously taken up the sponsorship and bought the frames from Lightspeed.
Okay.
Yeah, I was using these traditional wheels, but when I got the yellow jersey, I was able to use a pair of Campag Chamel, you know?
Yeah.
But we only had 2 pairs, and Lance was using 1 pair, and the other pair was spare. But I thought, shit, he's got the yellow jersey, better let him have them for one day.
Yeah. So it is true then that obviously, you know, because the internet is full of questions about certainly Lance's bike. I mean, we all know when he was with Trek, he was using rebranded titanium Lightspeed as his time trial bike.
Yes.
But then when we go back to this, well, just the year after this one, when you go on to the colour ones, they were titanium.
Yes. Not for all, obviously not for the classics,
No.
the Belgian races, but when we rode the Tour, we definitely had titanium bikes.
Okay. Any noticeable difference, or was it just
Well,
a world of hurt anyway?
these are heavy old.
They are, yeah, 9-ish, not about 9.2 kilos.
The Lightspeed were quite chunky tubing.
Okay.
So they were pretty stiff, I think. That certainly at that time they were, nice. Sadly, I was going to buy one of them, but then we were travelling, and I was going to take it home with me after Paris-Roubaix. Not that I used it in that race, but if someone hadn't attached it properly to the roof of the car and it blew up the road.
No.
Yes, so not that I would have probably kept it until now, because I didn't keep anything really. I've not gotten one single souvenir really, or old piece of kit that I've used.
Most of it's ended up with Brad, hasn't it?
Yes.
a big collector of anything of yours. So you wouldn't also have a completely off a different manner. That MBK time trial bike that you used in your 80,
Fagor,
the Fagor one. What happened to that? Was that your specific, or was it just a team one that they were just putting you all out? Just a team, a generic team.
Yes.
So it wasn't built and set up just for you. It was just the mechanic raises that, sets the stem, and off you go.
That's it. Yes.
Wow.
So
that's probably just floating around in the ether. No one knows it was yours. No one knows what it did.
It's probably dead and buried by now.
Yeah.
I would say.
Almost certainly. I haven't been able to find it. No. I've looked for it.
Okay.
Well, there's that great photograph of you.
They had a split tube here, didn't they?
Was it a split tube down there?
Down there, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I hadn't noticed that.
Yes.
All right. So coming back to Motorola times, obviously then we've got Hampston there, Heincappy, Lance is there as well. How did it go when you first met up with Lance? Did he? Because obviously he's famously brash Texan, we all know and understand a bit about the guy. Was it Bobby Julich who was the big American time trialist at the time? Lance destroyed in training. Just to kind of make the point known that Lance, it was Lance's time.
Bobby rode the DuPont Tour, which was the Trump Tour previously, and was as a real youngster, as did Lance, I can't remember any kind of. Obviously, Lance was the big hope, I think, going into the world, going to the Olympics. But yeah, anyway, I got on with Lance, and he turned pro, and we roomed together a lot, through to '96.
Yeah.
When he got cancer and the team folded and I retired. So yeah, we used to. You always used to say before we went to bed. He said, "Tell me a story, Sean." That was tell me a story. So to tell stories, that's after he checked his stocks and shares on his laptop.
Okay,
so way ahead of his time.
Yeah.
And then he'd do it in the morning, and then shit, I'm up. Today's going to be a good day,
Give him a fuck. Okay.
Yeah. If it was not good, he'd be well fed up.
Yeah. Did you were, I know with Motorola, they loved having you on board, obviously as the, you must have been one of the more senior riders at that point, but obviously in command almost of the team time trials, which we had a lot of at the tours at that point. Training Motorola guys for team time trials? Did that something
We
I read about?
We had a couple of camps, a couple of sessions. I mean, but obviously team time trial was my event.
Yeah.
That's the event I loved. And they would always be like, Sean, you're going to kill us. You're going to kill us. You're going to kill us. Please don't kill us. Little did they realise, the more they said that, the more pressure I felt. Okay, I need to kill him. I need to kill him.
Yep.
I need to kill him. So yeah, team time trial was my event. My only regret is we never won a team time trial in the Tour.
Okay.
Came second in '94,
Mm-hmm.
6 seconds behind MG Techno Gym. Had a few places, always in the top 5, 6. But obviously, you needed, a strong team to win.
In training, did you make Hamston cry on a team time trial? And did you make Lance vomit?
I don't know about Lance Morning. I know that when we had Steve Bout in yellow in 1990, was he in yellow? He wasn't in yellow, whatever. We had to ride that team time trial in the afternoon.
That's it,
to get the yellow,
Yep.
And we had David Finn had just flown in like the day before because his wife had given birth to Taylor, it must have been.
Yep.
Bob Roll was useless. Andy was not a team time trialist. And
Well, there's nothing of him.
we were riding out to get this yellow jersey, because we knew that if we get it there, that we'd keep it for a long time.
Yeah.
10 days it turned out. So I think, from my recollection, we got to end of that team time trial and Andy was crying basically.
Excellent. But you did take it,
you
did enough and you kept that jersey for 10 days in total.
It.
So,
happy days for the team, obviously, and obviously Oach was very happy and he gave us all a yellow Tag Heuer watch and he also got us a solid gold, a Canadian dollar coin.
Right.
To everyone, which I still got, which is worth quite a lot of money.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
So
he was very happy.
Yeah. So we had it for 10 days because there was 10 days without any mountains. So we had that. Then one of the next days was that 312k, I think, in the pouring rain to Rouen, I think, where Fignon actually packed on that stage.
Did he?
Yes. I think Solibel won the stage.
Right. Okay.
But anyway, So Andy, he didn't like team time trials, and I did make him suffer on more than one occasion. I'm sorry, Andy.
Excellent. Now, in that kind of second half of your career, there you've got obviously Indurain and everything that is that man and Benesto controlling so much at the Tour, but you've also got Pantani just coming out, especially pre-crash Pantani.
The rivals for Indurain on paper on hard type was Chiapucci and Bugno,
Yep.
But they never delivered on that, in that race, and the Benesto tactics were always the same, just like sit back and then first mountain stage crush everyone, then first time trial crush them some more, and then just control it, which was obviously worked. It wasn't the most spectacular, but that was a winning formula for them, and it comes to the first mountain stage, 94 for example, and Rominger touted and just crumbled, and Bugno was not the type of guy I don't think that liked that kind of pressure. Chiapucci was never really at the level, of Indurain, certainly not in time trials. So it was pretty much one horse race for a number of years, and everyone else was just like, okay, here we go again type thing. Try and pick up some scraps. Really.
As soon as it starts, you realise the guy's still in form. So we're fighting.
And obviously, he was the guy that he was the first guy just to target the Tour.
Okay, right.
Before him, they would do it every race, wouldn't they? All win,
famously every.
They would try and win races left, right, and centre. Whereas Miguel, he come into start the season, I don't know how many kilos overweight, but quite a lot, and it'd just be a steady build.
Wow.
You know, obviously if you enter the Giro, he'd be in shape form for sooner. Sorry. If it was a tour, he'd leave it a bit later. But he was the first guy to only, do 50 days of racing before the tour, which is like nothing.
Yeah.
But obviously from nowadays, guys are doing 50 races a year.
Yeah. So after you've kind of, well, you haven't hung up your bike because you carried on.
I kept on riding time
trials pretty much.
I won the National 50 in 1997.
Yeah.
I kept on. I started working. I did 2 years as a gardener, but I kept on training in the evenings on the turbo, flat out racing every weekend. Won the National 50. And got some other medals, National 100. But yeah, then I got involved with Linda McCartney, firstly as a guest rider in the Tour of Britain, which was slightly surreal because it was 18 months since I'd retired and ridden a pro race, and suddenly I was tying up at Edinburgh Airport, going into the hotel with all these Festini, US Postal.
Oh wow, okay, proper.
Looking at me like, what the hell am I doing here? But I thought it's better than gardening, pay a bit more money.
Yeah.
So I did that, and that got me into the job of managing Linda McCartney. And I went to Discovery Channel in 2005.
Okay.
Because that's when the World Tour started.
Yeah.
And Johan said, we need more DSs. Got more riders, got more races, we need more DS, will you come? I said yes. So, obviously that was the year last one, his last tour.
Mm-hmm.
I was head DS with Salvazelli at the Giro, won that. And that they were the best years, the Discovery Channel years.
Right, okay.
For me. 2007, 2008, when Alberto came and we didn't get to the tour, weren't allowed to do the tour, so you've got to go and do the Giro.
Yep.
So I was head DS with Alberto there and won the Giro, which was mega. And then obviously 2009, Lance made his comeback with Alberto in the team, along with Levi. Leipheimer, and a number of other good riders, it was and obviously him coming in with Brunel, who's running the team, and their past, and I did the first race with Lars in Tour Down Under in 2009, but there was a bit of needle there, but that I missed most of that year because I had a stroke.
Oh, okay, right.
Before the Tour of Rome, I was due to go to Tour of Rome and I had a stroke, so I was out the whole year pretty much.
When did you get the call from Brailsford to head over to Sky?
Well, after my stroke, really. I think I was still in Germany in the hospital when he called me first. And when I got back to UK, I went up to meet him in Manchester. And then, told me about this project and about, obviously everything was well on its way, and they needed some DSs, And so I said yes, because I think this Astana was coming to then, it was going to be Radio Shack, I believe, and I thought the stroke maybe is a sign, change of scene, going back to my roots. So I said yes, and obviously that 2010 to 2012, although I said Discovery Channel was nice, it was nice, but in a different way. I think the first years of Sky were the best, from my point of view. That the pinnacle of my kind of Director Sportives, culminating obviously with the tour winning with Bradley. As well as at my peak, really. Although health-wise, I was not in a great place.
So. Oh, it's good. Yeah, I
also had a pacemaker fitted that in 2010.
Yeah.
Post-stroke and various other health problems, but I still was managing to ride my bike every morning and do a good job. And it was great because we were a new team on the block, so there was not a massive amount of pressure from that side of things.
Okay.
So it's like, we've got nothing to lose, and it was great memories.
Yeah.
yeah, as I said, it was a slow build. First year, Bradley Tour was not what he wanted it to be. You know, and a lot of people say it was a bit of a disaster the first year of Sky, but for a new team, we did bloody well. We won loads of races.
Yeah.
We did some mega rides. You know, Geraint Thomas, Edward Bossenhagen, you know, Bradley, and Russell Downey. He was the first winner of an ASO race for Team Sky. Criterium International Stage 1.
Really?
Yep.
Bit of history that's overlooked.
Yes.
Yeah.
First winner of an ASO organised race. I mean, we went to Tour Down Under. We won the first bloody race with the team.
Yeah.
The opening Criterium, we won it. We just got in the front, led them out, came first and second, I think.
Yeah.
First and second, the last stage, whatever, you know. We had a fantastic year for a new team. And that just built all the way through to 2012.
Yeah. Did you guys know that Froome was, I mean, obviously 22, you know, he'd been the Bilowitzia thing, you know, so hit and miss. So the numbers were there, then they weren't there, then they were there. And then obviously, yeah, there you are. I can only imagine the pressure when you've actually got the number one right, you've got the guy that's going to win and you know he can win. But we've never won the Tour. We never got really that. Oh yeah, sure. You know, Brad had come third, but he wasn't like at that point necessarily in contention for the win. And there you guys are. You're going to win. Brailsford famously, you know, I'm going to win within 5 years the Tour, which is at best a bold statement.
Yes.
And you know, there's some observers are like, oh, you know, why just tie it down? Why don't you go from where? It's like, no, if the pressure to win and to not screw it up at the last moment, you know, in a crash or do something silly, or as you say, Hinault, you know, going off doing something crazy and costing himself his 6th Tour. You know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we were just focused on doing what I thought we needed to do, taking it day by day. Obviously, looking ahead a little bit, but it's not, you know, when you're in, you don't really to overthink things. You know, you can't control what other people will do. First and foremost, we just knew what we had to do. We knew what we had done to, you know, up to that point in the year. We knew where we were as a team. We knew what other people thought of us and how they feared us. So we just had to use that to our advantage and continue on as we had been doing the whole year, basically.
Yep.
That's just dominating and making everyone just, you know, submit.
Yeah.
And follow. And
you were, was it every year you were Director Sportives? Were you always out riding parts of the course every morning?
Yes. So I did the recons.
Yeah, the recon. Your recons were quite legendarily long as well.
Yeah,
not like, I just do the last 5k up there.
I mean, I like to ride my bike, so I would do, you know, the recons. I would do what I thought was necessary, what I thought I could do. You know, this was before the days. Obviously, nowadays you've got better viewer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day you didn't have that, and further back, obviously, you just had the maps. You know.
Yeah.
And so recons were really important to know. And what I liked and what Bradley really liked was that, you know, you need to, when the director talks to you, as a rider, you need to think that this guy knows exactly where we are, where we're going to go. So there's not a moment of hesitation or any hesitation as to whether he knows what he's talking about or not.
Right, yeah.
So that what me and Bradley had really well, you know, and controlling the controllables, another one of Dave's sayings, you know.
Yeah.
And not stretching yourself too much, which, you know, got on not taking any chances. You know, both those things, you know, wound Cav up a little bit on a couple of occasions, you know, when he was obviously a winner, he wanted to win more stages. 4 is not enough.
No,
it has
exactly.
to be 5. With 5, it needs to be 6. Whereas I was like, we can't push our luck.
Yeah, I mean,
we need to control the controllables.
Exactly, and you've got a guy like Cav,
you know,
and he's there to win, but you've got an entire GC squad that's there for GC.
Yes, so, you know, it was a bit of a balancing act. In the end, obviously, it turned out good, I think, you know.
Well, it's the stuff of
with
that final Champs-Élysées stage is...
You know, and we knew what we had to do. And Mick Rodders, I said, the plan was, Mick, you've got one job, and that's to get Bradley to the 1K banner on the front. Behind him will be Edvald, behind Edvald Cav.
Yeah.
And it just panned out. 1K to go, Bradley on the front. And you could just see these guys from Orica, I think, they're sprinting and peeling off to try and keep up with him, Across Place de la Concorde, Edvald, boom.
Yeah.
That was
something else.
That will never happen again.
No.
World champion being led out by the yellow jersey, both British.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, a true moment in history, that one.
That, obviously British DS, British team, that will never be replicated.
No.
And
then you end up with Tinkoff, Saxo Tinkoff. How was that working for you? How did you find Oleg? Was he many stories about that guy?
Yeah, it's a bit crazy, but I get on well with him. I think he liked the way I was, and the main reason I got there was Stephen de Jong, who was a DSM who worked with me in Sky. And he liked me working with him. We like to work together. We do the races, and we had some fantastic moments. Sadly, Alberto never came up trumps on the GC stakes, but we had other great ones like Peter Sagan. And one of my most savoured memories of him is him winning that stage when he broke away with Bodnar, Geraint, and Froome.
Yeah.
To Montpellier, I believe.
Oh, was that the flattish bit?
Yes. In the and the sun go, and it was like hell with it.
Yeah, that was something else.
We had everyone in the front, and the whole day had been like hurricane force winds, or will it or won't it, will it or won't it, will it or won't it, and suddenly boom.
Yep.
And it was the guys were just everywhere.
Yeah.
And obviously Peter was flying. Bodnar was a beast. G was flying, and they just couldn't, that was fantastic.
That was one of those
moments.
Like
one second, keep this, then you're going to have a tailwind, then you go home and dry type thing, It was just mega on the edge of the seat kind of stuff.
And then once that's over, you're retired. Then you do private coaching now, I believe.
I do private coaching. I did work with Iolo Cometa a couple of years.
Of course, Contador's.
I had a brief stint with Delco, a small French team, as a coach, and then I signed up with Alberto and Ivan Basso team, run by Alberto's brother Fran. Did the Giro a couple of times. Had some like the Monte Zoncolan wing.
Oh, cool!
Fortunato, that was a highlight. But obviously it coincided with COVID and the whole hassle of travelling and my personal circumstances had changed quite a bit. So I just thought, I've done. Never say never, but Time waits for no one.
No.
So I turned around, and especially as with my older children, I kind of missed all their growing up because I was away the whole time. Pretty much the whole time.
Yeah.
It wasn't away. I was
focused. Liam and Jessie.
Yeah, and Bathsheba, my daughter.
Yep.
Just focused on the bike, and riding as well because I was still competing. Up until 2005, I believe, 2006, got the comp record for 25 tandem with Michael Hutchinson.
They're over there, pictures of it from the
I still hold the national 12-hour tandem record in 2005.
12 hour?
Yes.
On a
So I believe, I first broke the comp record in 79.
Right.
And I broke a record in 2005. I believe that's the longest margin between breaking comp records.
Yep.
And I still hold that comp record.
And you still hold it. Wow. And now, so the coaching, I noticed you do that online and in person as well.
Yeah, coaching. Online coaching. I've got a few clients, and I like to see them now and then. I've got one pro I coach down in Spain near me. I'm retired, really, semi-retired.
I think if anyone deserves a
I
bit
do
of
the odd
time.
event. I still ride.
Yep.
I've entered a 365k gravel race next year.
Okay.
I'm in permanent atrial fibrillation.
I didn't want to ask too much, but I'm gonna guess the heart has kind of settled down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean it's been the same, for a while. But I did have problems, but I wasn't in permanent atrial fibrillation until I had a really bad accident in 2016, and then it went out and it wouldn't go back in. I've had about 6 cardioversions where the electric shock.
Oh wow, okay.
3 ablations where they go in and burn, and they said it doesn't want to stay back in, so you're lumbered.
Right.
So I take the medication, and I'm in permanent atrial fibrillation, which means that I've got a very limited capacity, but I still would like to set myself goals.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure no one else in this world is doing, performing or attempting to ride the who's in atrial, because most people, they can't even get on a bike.
No.
Who are in permanent atrial fibrillation, but I would like to think that that's just a continuation of my kind of determination and what kind of defined me on the bike.
Yeah.
And yet 365k in permanent atrial fibrillation will be the biggest physical challenge I've ever attempted. But I do like a challenge, and it gives me motivation to.
On gravel as well.
Yeah, on gravel.
That's just to make it that little bit easier.
With 5,000 meters of climbing.
We've already been speaking about bikes before, Camera. We could carry
We've got all
on.
these jerseys here, which most of them I got from Pete, who was the owner of India. George's, mine, Bradley's, Alberto when he won the tour. He got the young leader, and that's Lance, obviously discovered 2005 when he just was at the top of his game. I saw him at the start, said no one is going to get near him.
Yeah.
Before the race started. Lots of memories. Loads.
Well, thank you very much.
No problem.
Brilliant. And 365 kilometres of gravel.
Yeah.
With AF.
Why not?
There you go, guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Do like and subscribe for anything that's cool to do with vintage bikes. Thanks a lot.